Hey there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bottom Line. I'm your host Emil, and today I've got someone who is also interesting. I know I say that every episode about every guest, but in my opinion, every guest is interesting because they have their own unique thing about them. But today, I'm going to be speaking with Kiasha Dhanpall, the founder of Transfigure Media. Has nearly a decade of experience in generating revenue through social media. She started her journey as a social media influencer in 2017, which I know sounds way long ago, but it's still recent, and has since gained a substantial following on Instagram. Kiasha's commitment to excellence extends beyond social media. Having completed a BCom accounting science degree and spent 5 years in SAICA accredited articles, her unique blend of financial expertise and social media prowess make her a versatile visionary leader in the field. So, how are you doing?
I am very well, thank you.
I'm good. I'm a little bit under the weather, but first of all, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're here because you do bring a lot for the community. You help build up communities and show the youth what it actually means to be youthful, but also very independent.
Thank you so much for that. I feel a little bit of pressure after that intro.
Don't worry. I mean, it's a very nice, chill, relaxed intro. But going on, do you think social media is a good option to uplift the youth and bring the community? Because, I mean, you probably have the most knowledge about that from where you started to where you are now. I'm only starting to use social media now, and I can see the reach and how much power it does have. So coming from an expert in social media, do you think it actually can uplift the youth and bring the community together?
100%. I feel like there's such a huge shift in the digital realm right now, specifically after 2020, specifically after the pandemic, on how things are just moving towards the digital space. And specifically with youth empowerment, the access that we have to resources and courses and information and things like that has definitely been fast-paced. So definitely.
I will say 2020 was just such a... I don't even remember that much of it. I remember the year. I still remember what happened, but I think that's when you were stuck in the house for a couple. It was like 2 years. People were indoors for it.
It was quite a stage, but I feel like that shifted things. It really fast-paced things in the digital space, which, in terms of the youth, I think is great for us with AI and with social media and all of those things on the rise. It's made things. The globe has become a village. If I can put it that way, and we are able to access that.
So. I just want to bring COVID into the conversation. It did actually bring up a lot of opportunities for a lot of social media. People blew up in there. People grew their own business from social media. So that being one of the opportunities that I could say, how would you also, what would you define as an opportunity for the youth? And what are your thoughts on current opportunities for the youth out there?
Okay. So I would, when I think about opportunities, I think about value. So I think the first step is the value part. I think a lot of people are obviously focused on, I need an opportunity, I need an income, I need to sort of focus on my future, but not a lot of people are focused on what value do I bring. So in order for you to actually get that opportunity, you first need to focus on value. And so my initial step would be to use the access to resources and the digital ability that we have these days to make yourself valuable. There are so many opportunities that we could have just to upskill in terms of your personal development, in terms of your public speaking, in terms of your sales. That is free. There's Coursera. There's all of these things that are just accessible.
I mean, personally, I use Udemy for my own... Not saying that Udemy is sponsoring this. I personally just prefer Udemy over Coursera.
But 100%, YouTube as well. Like we were speaking about COVID and how people got online. So if you think about like content creators, how many content creators were birthed through just 2020?
I mean, I did a bit of live streaming on Twitch like during that time because I just got bored. I need to go back to it actually and create my own YouTube videos again.
But I think things really blew up. So to answer your question in terms of opportunity, I think it starts at the top going down to the bottom, and the top would be first making yourself as a youth, as an individual of that age group, somebody valuable.
So just a bit of a side question. It's still in regards to this question. You are speaking about, the tools that you have and that social media is a good, valuable tool. A lot of people today, both youth and, a minority of them youth, but majority of them are still being the older generation, like, parents, uncles, aunties, grandfathers will say that being social media is not a valuable tool. I'm pretty sure you disagree with that, but why do you disagree with that?
I feel like I'm saying, the world is sort of shifting towards being digital, and we will see businesses, every single business is going online in some way, shape or form. AI implications, things becoming automated, stuff like that. So social media is definitely a tool. I think with the older generation, I think we also need to be kind with them because things are suddenly shifting from the norm of what they're used to, and we're coming in with change and sort of expecting them to rapidly jump with that. So yeah.
So before we do, Kara, I just want to ask you, Transfigure Media, what is it exactly? So I know it is a digital agency. Well, it is a digital agency in short, right? Because I'm just looking at your guys' website now. You've done work for Specsavers, Westside, 13 Photograph, Liquor Supplies. I might actually ask for the details later. Accountants, PJD. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Just one more example I do want to put over here: Brooks and Rose. Those are just two I also wanted to mention. So you've done quite a bit with these other businesses. So it kind of gives me an idea that Transfigure is a multimedia field, but what is it actually?
Okay, so Transfigure Media is a digital marketing agency, full house. So what that means is if you think anything digital, we're talking website, SEO, Google Ads, social media management.
UI, UX design as well, I guess.
Yes, 100%. So anything digital marketing related, that is what we do. However, 80% of my clients come from social media marketing specifically, B2C, so Instagram and Facebook. We recently, I mean, it's been 15 months. It's a baby.
So it's still, Transfigure is still brand new.
Very new. And I started with just myself, just leaving my corporate job, a girl with a vision, a girl with a passion, no employees, no funding, just me and this drive to do something. So that's exactly what I'm saying in terms of access to resources. I have no formal education in digital marketing whatsoever, and everything I learned was online. I got a hold of the right courses, I got a hold of the right mentors, I got a hold of the right people, and I was hungry to learn. And so my core of everything I believe in is that if you can become a person of value, opportunities will come to you.
So you are the founder of Transfigure. Okay, cool. I just want to clear up because when I was busy doing research for you, it said that you're the managing director. So I always know those are two different things.
100%.
Cool, perfect. Moving on. So speaking about the youth and everything and how there are a lot of opportunities out there, like Ron said, I've actually started my own business now when it comes to multimedia. So I mean, it is nice, hard, tired, but it is worth it.
Yes,
but what do you consider the biggest challenge in terms of opportunities for you? Because I know my biggest challenge was, and I've kind of balanced it out, was both having a work life and doing that, but also coming around the idea of actually trying to meet a lot of deadlines at once. So what do you think are the actual biggest challenges in terms of finding opportunity for the youth?
Okay, so I think one of the biggest challenges I faced within the 15 months of being solo was that I worked very much in the business and not enough on it, which I'm grateful for because it obviously gave me a background to a lot of things. So as I mentioned, when I started, I didn't have any resources or people or anything. So I was the salesperson, the strategist, the UGC creator, the social, I was everything.
You're the whole Transfigure.
With everything. And within the first 6 months, I then got into a point of 30 clients and obviously started building my team and started developing from there. So I was still in it though. I still did not create that because it's your child, it's your baby.
Yeah.
So you're very much in it. So one of the things that I felt was that I was working in it. I was very involved in every single client and which is good, which is great. But whereas now I'm sort of working on the business and putting systems and infrastructure. So we call it scalability.
Yeah.
Where now, okay, we've got the base going, but now how do we take this to, how do we take a 6-figure to a 7-figure? And that comes from creating systems and infrastructure. So one of the challenges I faced was being too involved and sort of separating from.
So would you say that's actually one of the biggest challenges when the youth are finding opportunities, they want to do everything at once?
Yeah. And I think we just very often find it hard to let go. And we don't see the bigger picture of things because specifically in the realm of business, you're not a business owner because you're a photographer. Photography is the skill set. So I'm not a social media manager. It's what I start with.
Yeah.
It's the skill set I have. But as you grow and develop, you're a business owner. And so for me, that would be one of the things that, like, if you are getting into business, is sort of putting those systems and infrastructure ways. It's basically putting your money back in. So instead of you taking a large salary and just eating all of the money, you employ somebody.
I think that's what I've seen a lot of freelancers actually do. Because I went for a conference last year. They said that if you're in your own business as a freelancer, pay yourself the minimal, but put everything back into the business. And finally, what support structures are lacking for the youth to access opportunities available to them? Like, I know with a lot of people I've spoken to who wants to go into freelancing or have their own business or look for opportunities of work, a lot of them struggle to find Wi-Fi access points, charging computers as well as hardware and software. So are there actually support structures for the lack of youth, for a better say?
Sure. So I think in terms of that, personally, I don't know of them, to be honest, like where we would find that. But also what I've seen is just a personal testimony, a personal story for me. My first job that I started, I was working 16 Rand an hour. I worked at Cotton On just to pay for my driving lessons, like just to sort of make it out there. I don't come from a very strong financial background. And I'm the first person to get a degree in my family, first person to, start a business, all of these things. And so for that person that does not have access to something, that does not have anything, I think the battle begins in your mind. Because if you can break this through, you'll break anything else. And so that would be my advice is maybe I don't know the access points to that, but if you can believe in yourself and believe in your vision, you'll make a way. Like it took me maybe 1,000 cold calls to get 30 clients, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it starts in your mind and you're believing in yourself to get there and breaking. I think a lot of the generation that we live in right now, specifically where we are the microwave generation, where we want things instantaneously, that we sort of, I have a degree or I'm in this space, I'm expecting.
I mean, when you think about when a lot of people do have degrees, it's kind of sad to think that a lot of people expect when you have a degree, as soon as you get out of university, you will get a job, which I mean, it's both on fail off both, I guess, government as well and ourselves, because we've gone to the point where we believe like you got a degree, go do anything you want now.
So
But
I agree with that. I think also in terms of that aspect is like we might get the theory part of it, and that's brilliant, but you don't have the practical experience. I had a couple of people that interviewed for me, and I mean, it's a crazy world out there. You put out something on LinkedIn and like within the first 30 minutes, you have 100 applications. It's insane. So people are really looking for jobs, and you'd get CVs come through of people, and it's like, but what's your value? What is your skill set? And
like for me, example, I know how to do video editing for because I've told myself everything, but I don't have a degree for it.
Yes.
So I did get a job beforehand by just showing them what I can do.
Exactly.
But that's not everyone. I'm probably just the one in like the little bunch.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I look for skill set more than I look for qualification, as much as the qualification obviously holds weight. But it's more about the character of those persons.
No, definitely.
Willingness to learn, the extra mile versus just I have a degree. But what can you do? What can you do? And a lot of it is specifically, obviously, in the creative industry is an eye.
Well, Kiasha, thank you so much for influencing me and the audience. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much as well for joining us for this interview for Beyond the Bottom Line. Like I said, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I don't sound as I usually do. I sound a bit more raspy, but we still move on. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you do, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and share with your friends, family, and coworkers like I always say. All in all, thank you, Kiasha, so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.